Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, today I like to share with you an extremely important topic for Wing Chun. Unless you know what I am sharing with you in this YouTube, in this video today, you don't know Wing Chun. So you might say, well, Henry, are you crazy saying like this? Big ego? No, I'm not talking about grandmaster or I'm the grandmaster. I'm talking the very basic. If you don't have this very basic, there is no Wing Chun there. What I'm going to share with you today, you can see it in karate, you can see it in Western boxing, about breathing. If you read the Western boxing classic, you know, even in uh, 1900, early 1900, Western boxing have already training breathing. Okay, go check it out. Karate, why everybody have the ibuki, all those breathing. Where is anything about breathing in Wing Chun? There's zero. So today I like to share with you this. This is the first time in past 130 years that let's get things clear once for all. Nobody ever tell you what I am sharing with you today. And you better, really, you better comprehend clearly what I am saying in this YouTube, or else it's going to cost you. Okay? Either cost you not be able to develop the real skill or causing you to have a poor health in your body or even get sickness. Yes, it is this critical. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this today is because uh, the first thing is this is 2025. I'm getting older and older every year. I don't get younger. Okay. The second thing is the Wing Chun education today is complete mess. It is a disaster today. So 2 days ago, I shared this YouTube and I'm talking about the structure is actually a disaster. After that, many our Wing Chun friends messages me, some asking me, oh, can I share more on the 1850 Shulin Tao sets? So they are interested in learning the sets. To compare the sets of the 1850 Shulin Tao and this Grandmaster set, that Grandmaster set. And then there are some other Wing Chun friends who chat with me on, oh, my Wing Chun, your Wing Chun, this is my perspective, your perspective. You know, all of this, it just show one thing. Nobody know what the heck's going on, but it's a disaster. And this thing has to be cleared up. Now, I'm not clearing this up to make money. I'm clearing up at least you put in the history that people understand what is going on with Wing Chun. because this YouTube is going to live here in the history. Okay. So today I'm going to share with you, open up the entire thing and stop talking about internal chi, all this bullshit. Okay. The minute people open their mouth, the minute people making their post, it is very easy to actually scan what do you have if you know the basic. We are not even talking about who is the grandmaster. Okay? How are you going to develop anything if you don't know the basic? How are you going to be a grandmaster if you couldn't even know what exists? So this is how serious it is. I put it this up front because enough is enough. Wing Chun is not like this. Movie. This is not Wing Chun. This is called acting. Have you ever seen this kind of stuff be able to play in MMA or Western boxing match? This thing, all this look like this grandmaster, that grandmaster, these are called dance. Wing Chun dance. It got nothing on Wing Chun the fighting at all. Zero. But mimicking posture. Sure, you can claim that you can play the sets, you got a champion or whoever give you a championship in here in Asia. Wait until you finish this YouTube and tell me what do you know? What is all those people know? If you don't, you want to face the Western boxing, Western boxer, you want to face karate. Come on. You want to make a war, you need to know who you are. And but if you choose to just keeping living in the fantasy and delusion, then you have a freedom to choose that. But you don't have the right to screw Wing Chun. You don't own Wing Chun. I don't own Wing Chun. Wing Chun is a Chinese culture. It is a culture, a part of the Chinese culture in the Chinese history. Nobody own it. Nobody have say on it. People only be able to present what it is. Okay? So all this is dance, is acting. It's not Wing Chun. We just start with a very basic breathing. If you don't have breathing, you are not martial art. Forget about it. That's why I just now mentioned. Western boxing in early 1900 already recorded the the boxers practice breathing, body conditioning. Karate always is with that. Now let's start. First thing, Wing Chun 1850s, the Shulin have said, is not a set. Don't get people misled you on Shulin Tao is a set. No, Shulin Tao is not a set. Shulin Tao is a holistic, a comprehensive teaching of fighting art. Put it in the scientific way. This is how it can be. Your body condition always have to be there. Your means of fighting always has to be there. So there are no such thing as my Wing Chun, your Wing Chun, this technique, I'll try out that technique. If you don't condition your body, it's like you want to play judo. If you don't condition your body in the judo way, how the hell are you going to play judo fighting? If you don't condition your body in the Western boxing way, You cannot play it. But today, people don't. People just have tan bong fuk. What the heck is that? Have you ever seen those things in the real life? Not to mention your tan bong fuk is just what? Blocking. Have you have any attack momentum and those kind of stuff? Like I share here on the momentum attack and momentum counter attack. If you don't have that, you want to play with a judoka, Western boxing, a Western boxer. Are you serious? So this is Xiu Lin Tao 1850. It is not what today's talk about. Xiu Lin Tao said the more you play with it, then some days you become grandmaster like this grandmaster, that grandmaster. Sorry to tell the truth. In the past 130 years, all those who play Xiu Lin Tao, I don't see a grandmaster there. Why? Because they all don't know the thing I'm going to share with you today. It's so easy to spot, to scan it. So things need to change. Okay? It is a system you want to learn, not the sets. And then you learn the set and then you mimic like playing in a movie and here you get high. But wait a minute, when you face a Western boxer, a judoka, a karateka, what do you have? And also people talk about, oh yeah, uh, uh, my Wing Chun, your Wing Chun, my perspective. What the heck you're talking about? This thing, the 1850 Shiu Lim Tao, the comprehensive system. Beside in the scientific, we can make it like the aerobic, anaerobic, all those kind of thing. I can sum for you here. The 1850s Wing Chun Shiu Lim Tao system involved four laws of fighting. You can use these four laws of fighting to analyze any martial art, including analyze Bruce Lee. Why you need the four laws? Because it's like physics. You need law of physics to know what is the basic of physics. So the four laws is there are platform outlook, there are game bottom line and uniqueness, there are details realizations element, there are scientific repeatable verifiability. There are four of them within this. If you don't know this, you will not be able to realize it or implement it or be able to develop the skill to the full. Okay. And if you have this, anytime you want to analyze Bruce Lee, Mas Oyama, Rickson Gracia, you can use this four law to analyze them, to see them, what do they have. Those are educations. Those are tools. You want to play the game, you better know what is the law inside there. What is the name of the game. So, but today I'm not going to share this with you because there's maybe another one or two video or something. A lot of, this can be done, but I want just to tell you that stop to talking about the sets, that sets, and my Wing Chun, your Wing Chun, this is how I play Xiu Lim Tao. Forget about it. Okay? What you guys doing are only this movie stuff and this stuff. It is not martial arts at all. Martial art have this thing. Martial art can be mapped into sport science today, explain. So it make equivalent with Western boxing, with karate, with judo, with jujitsu. You can see, you can put in different categorizations of what is there, the contents. What is the uniqueness? What is the strength? What is the weakness? It is about technology learning. Now, there's a lot of things there, but today I'm going to specifically talk about breathing. Now, let me share with you one thing about the Chinese martial art. Chinese martial art in the past 100 years is filled with a lot of bullshit. Most of it is bullshit today. Most of it, not everyone. Most of it is bullshit, especially those internal whatever guy, okay? Chi guy, all those bullshit. This is a record of what happened in 1930s or 1942 here, sorry, 1942. This person have an exchange or communications or starting with many big time, big grandmaster here. For example, here, this is the founder of the Yiquan, Wang Xiangzai, who's doing the standing pose. This is another Chang Fengzhi. This is the Chiwu Dashi, Buddhist. So they went there, they have an exchange at that time, 1942, prior to Second World War. Even at that time, because this person is belong to early 1900. This is Ma Li Tang, who is the grandmaster, the top expert in the Six Healing Sound, and try to revolution the Chinese martial art prior to the Japanese war and so forth, or invasion and so forth, so forth. This is what he say here. He said there is the guy who trained martial arts. Of course, he is because his teacher, Du Xingwu, and everything, those are in revolution. They are in a real fighting, okay, from the real guy, So he know Wang Xiangzai, this group people. So over here, he said that he trained martial arts, okay? He is a person who trained martial arts. The friend I know before, my old friends before, they are really good in martial art. When they fight, they can KO you. However, when they get old, what happened? High blood pressure, heart problem, leg problem, lung problem. Why? Because all these people, they only train their strength. What does this Ma Li Tang know about Fa Jing? Like today, the big term Fa Jing Qi. Of course, I mean, this is the group of people who be with like the Sun Lu Tang, Wang Xiangzai, all those top guy at that time. So this is the reality. And here he said that all these people get sick because they never pay attention to the recovering Qigong practice in the martial arts. So, a question now. All your so-called internal, whatever, Fajing and all this thing today, can you have the same performance as those in the 1930s where you can KO people, those type of fighting skill? Do you have that? The second thing, even those who have those fighting skill in 1930s, got problem when they get old. High blood pressure, all this heart problem, all this problem. Now tell me, you all what the chi internal, all this. How do you compare with these people in the 1930s, 1940s, like Wang Xiangzai, Sun Lutang, all these people, where Ma Li Tang is studying with them by records, and Ma Li Tang know that they're disaster for many of them. Well, from that you know those who train fighting will never be just doing solo push hand demonstration with their student. Those are really fighter, but because they do not have a complete view, their body damage. So the issue with Bruce Lee is not an accident. 100 years ago, people know. And if you look at today's sports science or sport training or Olympic training, you always have what? Have the training, which involve your endurance and so forth, and your recovery. This have to be balanced. So what Ma Li Tang say here is all these people who get sick is in an imbalanced training. So 100 years ago, Kung Fu, Chinese Kung Fu is in this state. Sorry, there's no magic. It is like in today's states of if you train, you need to have a recovery. Now asking yourself, do you know about training and recovery? Can your chi out train the endurance out? Can your push hand in Tai Chi train the anaerobic and all this thing like over here? Of course it cannot. Okay. Now, if you don't get this nurture chi stuff, as the Ma Li Tang presented here, which is in this nurture chi recovery state, you know you're going to damage your body. So today's Chinese Kung Fu is you are not trained hard enough so that you can fight. And you have no idea what is going on. You need to have the hard enough training, endurance training, explosive training, and you don't know the recovery training. And of course, all this recovery training and endurance training, you have to deal with your breathing. Okay? So 100 years ago, it's already like that. So don't have an idea saying that, well, we have this internal whatever. Or internal is like this Taoist, this magic, this philosophy. No, for the fighting, it is training like today's training, hard endurance, the explosive power is like the Western boxer, like Mike Tyson trained really hard, or Kyokushin fighter trained really hard. You want to fight, you better have that level, or the muscular endurance training, the anaerobic training. But if you don't have the recovery, then you know you get disaster, because 100 years ago is already like that in Chinese Kung Fu. But today's, have you heard about this thing in Wing Chun? Or you just say, why, Just I train my Xiu Lim Tao, and then someday you can good at it, like this grandmaster. Which grandmaster tell you all this thing? Which is written in the history? The answer is there's none exist in Wing Chun. You have all the stories, but are they up to this level? Well, this is the people who fought Japanese invasions and many, many things. Okay. Now, so breathing. You want to train anaerobic, you need to know how to breathe. You want to recovery, you need to know how to breathe. That is Chinese Kung Fu. Chinese have Kung Fu have that comprehensive. And that is what Wing Chun 1850s have that system there. Okay? It's not just you doing a set. So I wrote a book 2 years ago. This is the first book worldwide, the only book today, which is presenting what is the truth, what the 1850s and the 1940s, 1930s Chinese know. Disregard of it is internal art or Wing Chun. The Chinese, the old, the past generation Chinese, they all have a same base in Chinese Kung Fu. So this book is presenting what exactly it is. If you don't have that, you will not be able to face Western boxing or karate, and you will not be able to know what exactly on the chi stuff or the recovery stuff. But talk. Okay? Speculate this, speculate that. So, as in decoding Wing Chun, we know there are three levels of training in Xiu Lim Tao, 1850. The strengthening training, which is for fighting, the fitness training, which is for your circulation, build out your body, and the chi neurosing training, which is for your recovery. So in today's term, this is anaerobic, this is aerobic, like aerobic endurance. This is get into the deep recovery states of human. So as I say here, the recovery, the aerobic endurance, the anaerobic, it is just clear. So the Chinese have it, Wing Chun 1850 have it. Okay? The Xiu Lim Tao have it. Now, we need to know that these three types of training, or this three category of training, come with three types of breathing. It is the ancient Chinese culture, or ancient Chinese martial art technology. So there are three types of breathing. One is called subtle breathing. One is called common breathing. One is called windy breathing. So in your endurance, like your weightlifting, all your trainings, you breathe with sound. That is called windy breathing. When you do aerobic endurance, you breathe normally. That is called the common breathing. And then, if you want to really get into recovery, or today people practice mindful meditations, or vipassana, or samatha, One need to get into the subtle breathing. Today, those who practice mindfulness, all this vipassana, samatha cannot do it. Why? Because they cannot get into the subtle breathing type of intensity. This is three type of breathing intensity. If you don't know the three type of breathing and the three types of breathing intensity, what are you training? Anyone who really have a handle of this, the recovery training, the fitness training, and the endurance training will be able to handle the three types of breathing. It is like this since ancient of the Chinese practice. It is today in science, we can measure it, track it, we can understand. This exists in breathing. Now, so as in this book, Decoding Wing Chun, you have this three breathing, you have this three category of training, breathing, and you need to have the principle of training. If you have a chronic health problem, there are many things you should not do. For the chi neurosync training, what is it about? For the fitness training, what is it about? For the strengthening training, what is it about? Those all has to be really clear. Or else what are you doing? Playing this? Playing this? Mimic this? What do you get? Or this make claim I'm internal. What do you get? Okay? Now, so today, as in the book, all this can be scientific proven, whether you develop it or you don't develop it. Is in the book. So that's why I said this is the first time for past 130 years in Wing Chun, we just open this up and we put in science so that we can verify. So it is not about who is grandmaster, but everything need to be verified by science. How can you know that your training is effective and efficient? How can you know that your training is not damaging your body? If you don't have the scientific, how can you do that? Now, this is even this just a very big, huge, big picture for you. You want to go details again, like in this book. This is the wrong way of breathing. Look at how many people screw up in the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao practice, or even in their internal art practice. This is a screw up medically. This is a proven screw up type of breathing. Sure, they use lower abs breathing or they use chest breathing, or they don't have idea on what kind of breathing they do. They just brute force it. In Wing Chun, it's usually they brute force it, like you're tucking your tailbone, so your body becomes slant apart, and you end up be doing this kind of stuff, tucking your tailbone, leaning your body backward, all those things, doing whatever movement which is not accord to the human body. You are getting problem with this. And this kind of thing, you can cause hernia, you can cause eye pressures, you can cause cardio problem, you can cause heart problem. Well, it is known, like even if you practice something like the karate sanchin, if you don't do it properly, you can get heart issue, you can even get stroke. Okay? So that's why in this book, all this thing has to be laid out. You don't mess around. Now, this is the proper breathing. The proper Chinese breathing, the fundamental for recovery, fitness, and then it's supporting the endurance training. Where in today's science, your pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm, they are synchronized. Notice that this is not something like this. Using your lower abs or whatever type of breathing. It is has to be this, accord to the human body. Okay. Now, on the other hand, when you reach the anaerobic training or the endurance explosive training for fighting, you might get into this is called reverse breathing. Reverse breathing is your pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm is compressing your internal organ, your cavity, your lower abs, your lower abs cavity here, your intra-abdominal pressure to form to solidify your core, and of course to protect your internal organs when you get impact. So this is the type of this is called the normal breathing for for chi neurosing, for fitness, and for the strengthening or fighting training. And this is a special type in for this the fighting training. Or you can use this also to condition your internal organs. Now, if you don't know this, and you just do whatever it is, how can you avoid to get into this? You can. Now, this is picture. Let's just talk about this today so that you know that nobody can bullshit. If you have those type of breathing, your stomach area, abdominal area, when you inhale, the pelvic floor muscle going down, okay? Your diaphragm going downward like this. So pelvic floor muscle synchronized with the diaphragm going downward when you inhale. When you exhale, the pelvic floor muscle and diaphragm coming up, okay? So let's talk about inhale. When you inhale, this is actually expanding 360 degree. Also, your rib cage is open up. All your rib cage, your chest is open up. This is exhaling. The lower abs contract. Your rib cage also is contracting. Or maybe I should not say rib cage. Is your rib, full ribs, your chest here is contracting. So your diaphragm, your pelvic floor muscle is doing this. Your your stomach is doing this. Your chest is open up when you inhale, and this one is contract here, and your chest is also contracting inside. Anybody who really have that kung fu, you observe him when he do Xiu Lian Tao, or just standing there and breathe with this for the fitness or for the chi neurosing. You can see that right away. Okay. It's as simple as that. If you develop it, you can see it. It is moving. The body is moving. Well, because you know that the intra-abdominal pressure is all in dynamic. It's all dynamic stuff. Okay. Now this is the very basic of the breathing. So anybody who's standing there like training Xiu Lim Tao, you just check on his chest. How is the movement of the chest? Either it's expanding, contracting. How is the lower abs, the stomach area? How is it expand 360 degree? All this thing. You know right away they know how to breathe or not. And if you really have developed that, when you inhale, you know it's going 360 degree. Your pivot floor muscle going down. Your cavity, your volume, like in your body, is expanding. Your chest is expanding naturally, effortlessly. When you exhale, this is contracting. Your lower abs is contracted up. So anybody who really train that breathing know that. It is using that to recover the body or causing the circulation and so forth in the fitness training, and then supporting the endurance training for the windy breathing. So it's all based on that. Now, if people don't know that, you will fall into this category. Like the Mr. Ma Li Tang said, they can beat people left and right, but when they get old, they have all kinds of problems in their body. As soon as you brute force this body, you get into this, you get hernia, you get all kinds of stuff. Even eyes problem, okay? Because all this, your thoracic, your chest cavity, the pressure that is influencing your eyes. People get glaucoma and all those kind of stuff. Have to watch out. Even people doing yoga, you have to watch out there where you put your head so that you don't generate those pressure. Like people stop breathing sometimes. You can do that. So very simple stuff. If you're keeping practice Xiu Lim Tao like a movie and all this mimic your hand flying around, when do you know that? Do you really have the training, the training of your breathing, which is your body need that for fighting, for recovery. Unless you know you have that, you don't know this. You'll never get into this. Qi nourishing training is based on relaxing body, calming the breathing and breathing nature. This kind of training can eliminate tensions, stabilize emotions. It promotes a smooth flow of qi or energy. Okay, and it just enhance blood and oxygen supply to internal organs. Fitness training is the training supply the body with oxygen-rich blood, increasing the breathing and heart rate. Strengthening training, making stress part of body stronger. Okay, and so if you don't have those kind of your body behave that way in that states, how can you get all this training? Not to mention, here it said chronic health problems should be checked by a medical profession before attending any type of training. Do not perform intensive or strengthening training when a person is exhausted, sick, or injury. So you don't mess around with where you can train if you don't have the basic of the training, if you don't know what you get into. So again, if you don't know this, what's Xiu Lim Tao? What Wing Chun? Do the minimum. You look at the karate, they train here. Western boxing, they train here. And there are some fitness training there too. So their breathing is different. You look at the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you look at the Rickson Gracie. He's using yoga to train many things here in the recovery and the fitness thing too. Of course, he doing strengthening training. You look at Kyokushin, you have this training. You have this training. So if you don't have this type of breathing training, what the heck are you going to do? Living in a fantasy movie in the States like this, promoting Chinese Kung Fu, you're out of your mind, okay? Now, one other thing I want to tell you. This is the micro orbits. This is how the chi flow. You want to talk chi, let talk to you. How chi flow. When you want to train this, you need to get into the subtle breathing. The subtle breathing. Now, subtle breathing is not just a term. Subtle breathing have the characteristic of light, really lightweight, really light breathing. Almost it's so light that you don't notice it. Light. Okay. And then after you can do light, then is it become even. Even. The breath is even. And then the breathing, the length of the breathing increasing. If you cannot handle that, you do this cosmic. Say if you do it with a normal breathing, you thought that it is subtle breathing, or many people have no idea of the subtle breathing, just using the normal breathing, like the ordinary breathing, like the people who do mindfulness meditation, those kind of normal breathing. Guess what? If you're breathing hard like that, your dantian area will get warm, hot. Many will think, well, I got the internal energy. Stop it there. Those are wrong. As soon as those get burning hot, it is actually exhausting your energy. So in training the cosmic cycle, the first thing is one must get the subtle breathing. Remember, I just tell you, first is it has to be so light. Get into that state. The breathing is not long. Maybe the breathing is short, but it's so light. That is going to guarantee that this part is not going to burn your energy. You thought that you have the kung fu. I have qi in my body warm up, but you actually pulling a reverse gear. You are actually draining your body's energy. There's qi gong, that's internal. That's how you develop this dantian, how you sing your qi to dantian. So today I share with you this in the real life. You look at people when they breathe or when you do your training, do you feel all this thing? That's what I just shared with you. Do you know about how to conditions fine tune your breathing? to the type of the breathing you need. Like this is a subtle breathing. So in this book, there is explanations on the subtle breathing and those kind of stuff. Now, even if you have the book, you read it completely, you might not even get the kung fu, but at least you know what exists there. You know what is the thing you don't want to touch. You know in the fighting what kind of breathing you need. If you don't have that, don't do it. Because what you don't know, it doesn't mean that other people don't know. You thought that, oh yeah, I train chi sao, I can fight. Are you sure if you don't the endurance training and all those training, the back trainings and all this like the Western boxing? And if you don't have recovery training, are you sure that your body can last? Or how after 30 something year old, if you don't get injury, your body feel like it is training, it's out of shape. Somebody falling sick, like the record the Grandmaster Ma Li Tang said even 100 years ago. So this is about breathing. Now repeat this video a few times on this breathing. Now asking questions. In the past 130 years, is there any grandmaster until today, even you go to China, or have ever tell you what I share with you today? So I'm saying that is because I'm the grandmaster of the universe? No. I'm saying this is because this is called educations, basic educations. Do you know what you're dealing with? If you don't know this basic, you'll not be able to develop it. You do not know which one to avoid, which one you need. Bruce Lee died. Why? It's known in the Asia with the old timer, like the late Grandmaster Nan Huaijing wrote a book saying wrote have actually say in public that the way how Bruce Lee do, he don't know how to handle his chi and breathing training, and that of course is going to cost his life. It's in writing in book now, in one of the Nan Huaijing's book. So why do I know all this thing? Of course, it's going to check with everybody, test out with like the guinea pig, put it scientific and everything. And what is the goal? The goal is you guys are important. Today's medical cost is really, really expensive. So you have two scenario, minimum scenario. One is you brute force it, your body cannot take it, you got problem. The medical cost is high. Okay, if you are not rich, you're just a working class. I don't know how you're going to survive. It's really sad if you cannot work, if you know body have all kind of problem. That's one scenario. The second scenario is you don't know all this what I share with you. And you're thinking that I just are doing my Xiu Lim Tao. I practice this Qi Sao, this and that thing. Have no idea on all this breathing and everything. Are you sure you want to fight those MMA player or Western boxing player? So this is what I like to share with you. This is about education, and education need to talk straight, or else people get damaged. So finally, I tell you here. That's what I tell you before and on other YouTube. This channel is for educations and culture. We need to know what exactly Wing Chun is. You cannot just create your own mumbo jumbo Wing Chun. If you don't know, say you don't know. Don't act like you know a lot. Like people told me they know qi gong, they can do healing and this and that. You look at their breathing. Can they get into the subtle breathing? They make a pose. You can see clearly there are no way this type of body be able to get into the subtle breathing. So what's the point for bullshit? So so on the expense of Wing Chun, everybody is grandmaster. But how is those people who pay the money, the consumer, who buy the product? Well, it's too bad that Chinese Kung Fu have ended up to be like this today, not just Wing Chun. You can see most are like that. People have no idea what is going on down there. No idea how is the train. They always have their grandmaster, there's my opinion, your opinion. But at the end, you go up to the MMA ring, you drop dead within seconds. That's for fighting part. On the other hand is, if you get sick, will you be able to help your body to recover? You need to see doctor. But if you have that kung fu, you'll be able to work with the doctor to help you to get the best out from your body. If you don't have this, what is it? Fantasy? Video games? That's not kung fu. But Chinese have been like this for past 100 years. So again, I'm not getting younger. What I know, I already put in the book, in my book, Live in America. What I know, I put in this channel to be straight talk. You like it, you don't like it, you have the freedom. Don't watch my channel. But everything has to have a responsibility, right? You cannot just keeping bullshit people on this and that. And the worst thing is, like the body Dharma said, don't cheat other, don't cheat ourselves, don't get cheated. Today's in Wing Chun, most people are what? They cheated themselves. They cheated themselves. They never look outside on what the heck is going on. They never look in the history. They never look outside. Hey, what happened out there? They never. They just live in their own rabbit hole. They cheated themselves. When they repeat so much that they are the grandmaster, they take it like they are really grandmaster. And then one teacher teach another teacher. Everybody is sifu, and then the student teach another thing. You completely get people into brainwash like a cult. There's you look at Wing Chun today, it's like that. And it's like in other Chinese Kung Fu, like Tai Chi, is like that too. So I always tell people when they ask me, what Kung Fu best to train? Can I train Wing Chun 1850, blah, blah, blah? I say, you know what? Go train BJJ, go train Western boxing, go train Thai boxing, go train Kyokushin, go train MMA. Don't train Chinese Kung Fu. I tell everybody like that. Why? There's a responsibility. You don't have screwing around things. So this is for you today.